Good morning. Welcome to ATI ProMedia. We are powered by advanced trading. Exciting day. A lot of things to talk about. Probably none will make you happy because we have grains down, stocks down, a lot of wild things going on. Joe, let's take a little walk along LaSalle Street and quote these markets up. July corn down 2, July soybeans down 10, soybeans down 7.5 in the Nove, wheat down 4 in the board, 8 in KC, spring wheat holding on, only down a half, live cattle down 20, feeders up, hogs up. Let's move over to LaSalle Street. Gold down 10. Interest rates on the rise. The bond market's moving another full point almost. Interest rates hitting multi-week highs. Stock market taking on the chin. Dow Jones down 300. NASDAQ down 100. S&P down 36. A little move in Bitcoin. Seeing some selling in copper. All right, let's get in the show. Connor B built a nice one today. I give him all the credit. I was too busy doing hair and makeup, but Connor worked on some graphics. And I think the rumor has it Brady Huck might call into the show. Bring Connor B in. Bring him in. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Gina asked me yesterday, she's like, where's Connor been? I'm like, I don't know, planting flowers or something. I don't know what he does now.
Tell Gina I wasn't on yesterday. I was on Thursday, Friday. It's a long weekend. Can I just say, you've been working on your hair and it looks great, Tommy.
That I stole her moose. All right. Moose on the loose. Here we go. We got a lot of selling going on. You built us a fine show. What's going on with planning progress?
Planning progress. We continue to make great progress. 13% jump in corn planting, a good jump in soybeans. So last week we said the late planting talk, we put a damper on it. That continues. We are still in that picking up with the 5-year average, a little bit behind yesterday, but making great progress. Your area, the Dakotas. Let's pull up those maps. I like looking at it state by state.
Big shout out to our friends at Grain Stats, who do those graphics. If you're out on X Grain Stats, we send an email. Hey, can we pop your graphics? He said if they're on Twitter, they're free.
Yeah, so give him a follow. He puts some great stuff out. But so looking at this, right, we are above the 5-year average. Blue line is 2024. We're still, when I look at this, Tommy, it keeps it in mind that 22, 19, they weigh on the 5-year average, right? We're still behind a lot of years, but we've got this crop in the ground at a decent pace, at a good pace, especially the past couple weeks. And so we're right in line with that 5-year average on corn planting, on soybean planting. And so looking at it state by state, the Dakotas, Joe was mentioning before we jumped on the show, how much they're ahead of last year of the 5-year average, right? They've made great progress. And they're the ones that, May 25th has passed us, right? That's their prevent plant date. I don't see a whole lot of PP in North Dakota. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy.
There could be a little. There's some isolated areas that really got hit with rain. If they, that's not to say they won't plant beans, right? Or something, maybe edible beans, which can go in very late, but they don't like wet feet, so we'll have to dry up. There's still some chances to plant some crops. Last year, they were just starting to plant right around now. Like they went the 28th through the 18th of June and had a record crop. I'm not going to write them off. They're doing fine up there. I do have some clients in South Dakota, just a few hours south of Fargo, that haven't planted in weeks and weeks and weeks, and they have more rain coming this week. But they'll still get it in. Like they're going to plant silage, Connor, and all they need to do is get that silage matured and get an ear on it. They don't need to dry it or anything. So that things will be okay, I believe.
Yeah, well, good deal. Well, so really, when I look at this, Illinois and Iowa, we've made great progress. We're in line with the 5-year average, but that's probably the ones, especially looking last year, Illinois was 95% corn planted, right? This week we're at 80, right? So still 15% behind last year, but right in line with the 5-year average. But Illinois and Iowa, right, two of the biggest corn producing areas. We've still got a ways, right? We got to get that last 15% planted, but we're sitting good. So that I'd say that's the story, right? Corn planting, we've made good progress. We've caught up with the 5-year average. So now it's time. If you're going to be a bull in this market, I don't think late planting can be it, Tommy. I think we're going to start looking at what's the weather going to be next week. We're going to see our first look at crop conditions, and I got a feeling we're going to look pretty good. This crop's in the ground. Moisture has came. We've got decent precip the rest of the week. And so That's going to be the next story. We're going to start debating summer weather and see how this crop starts and finishes into June, into July.
Absolutely, Connor. I think if someone said, "Why are the markets down?" There's still a lot to plant. There's enough planted to stop a disaster. If you're out there and you're the one not planted, yeah, it's a problem. But the markets, it's not even June, and there's enough planted to say
Right.
it's not perfect. We're not going on here and saying everything's perfect. It's going to be a record crop. Statistically, we already realize we're taking off some yield. What if we have a shocker and we plant an extra million acres of corn and the yield's 179? We're right back there. We have too much old crop. What's so important, and I was on RFD yesterday. I said, since the beginning of the year, you've lost, even with July futures where they are now in corn, you've lost 40 cents and paid a lot of interest to do it. And if you put 100,000 bushels in the bin, I promise you there's not 100,000 coming out. And
Right.
that's how it works.
Yeah. We got to think when we use that trend line yield, 181.5, they factor a little bit of late planting. I think it's 10, 15% to get to that trend line yield. Right now, we're at 20%, right past May 20th. So a little bit there. So let's drop that down to a 180. Let's go to a let's go what we hit last year, Tommy, a 178. That still fills the pipeline. So we're going to need some more weather problems, either in Brazil here for to really change that carry out number. And so,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, if you're wishing for corn to go up, you could be the one with the problem. That's all I wanted to say. If you're wishing for corn to go up, get ready for you to have the problem. Be careful what you wish for.
Yep. And so looking at it, we've got, I don't know how often we say this, but wheat has really been the leader. The past 2 weeks, wheat's trying to stay positive as I'm looking at the markets. Corn's bouncing around, but I've got a not fun chart to look at on soybeans because right now we got soybeans no 24 soybeans hovering right at 1203, trying to break below $12. And so I just want to pull this up if we could. Let me pop it up. This is from our research team, and we just look at the farm price versus world stocks to use ratio. And so as you can see that trend line, where we're at 24 for this year, right? Markets, we're a little bit above maybe where we need to be looking at where the stocks to use. So what's going to change? Is the stocks to use going to change dramatically? Did we plant more corn acres? Or does the price need to go lower when you're looking at this? So maybe I need to apologize in advance. It's not a fun chart, but it's something to keep in mind when we're looking at $12 soybeans right now, Tommy, I think.
Yeah, and if you're out there and you can't see the chart, or if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, we can always send you our charts or graphics package today. Let's talk about premium real quick. Yesterday,
Yep.
Myself and Joe Grisafi called in. We have a new feature where folks can call in premium contributors or daily contributors on ATI ProMedia. But yesterday we went through the crop progress and conditions. It was kind of a nothing burger. Speaking of calling in, hold on, we got one on the line. We got Brady Huck calling in. Hold on. Let's get him in the show. B Huck on the show. Can you hear us, buddy?
I hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you got a little reverb, so we're going to have to kick you off the platform and stay on the iPhone. Okay. Brady Huck calling in from Dodge City. Longtime listener, first time caller. What's going on? We had a big move yesterday in feeder cattle. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, big up, Jay. Great to see him going up. It took him a while. We talked about those nasty headlines over the weekend, the bird flu stuff that we just can't seem to shake off. But the market shook it off yesterday, and we were glad to see the feeders take off and run.
Brady Huck, are you quoting Taylor Swift songs live here on air? Shake it off.
Shake it.
We're gonna get copyrighted.
You never know what we're gonna say here.
Yeah. Oh, I caught that one.
Oh,
so
God.
I bet your listeners did too. Hey, this is a new feature. Hey, let's keep talking about premium content. If you're out there, and we really want you to like and subscribe to our Advanced Trading YouTube channel. Watch this. See that? Like and subscribe. We got all types of new functions here. Like and subscribe. People can call in. What's that sound like when they call in? Oh, yeah. All right. Brady Huck on the line, Dodge City, Kansas. This will be nice because when we're remote, and we're going to start doing a lot of remote, I think you have a special announcement, Connor Bridgman Appreciation Day that's going to happen in Advanced Trading in June. We'll actually, it's Customer Appreciation Day. Customers of Connor. We're not going to appreciate Connor, but you understand my point.
We appreciate Connor every day. Every day is Connor Bridgman Appreciation Day.
Yeah. So we'll be going live. I think we'll be at, we'll be at Farm Progress. We will be at Commodity Classic. We will be at various farm shows broadcasting live. I believe, and I don't want to say it today, we'll be somewhere else in South Dakota going live at one of the farm shows too. Yours truly might be speaking, but if not, we will be going live from various farm shows. Hope to meet you. Hope you are interested in subscribing to premium content. It's $1 a day. You get emails in the morning, first thing, 5:30. You get 6 videos a week. We have a catch-up video to do because we didn't send one out on Memorial Weekend, but that won't be hard to do. Yesterday's premium was Tom Grisafi and Joe Grisafi talking about crop progress. Brady Huck dialing in remote. Brady, how's the weather in Dodge City, Kansas?
We got a few showers here yesterday. Some hail came through, unfortunately, in some spots. And it was, it's always tough to see that. Some farmers, they kind of want the hailstorm to come through because nobody wants to go harvest 12, 15 bushel wheat that the insurance is going to make you cut. But unfortunately, it also took out some good fields too. But that white combine rolled through a little bit yesterday, and then we got later in the evening and had a little better moisture west of Dodge. But it's hit and miss. It's awfully streaky out here, and we need some more moisture. But yeah, that feature yesterday in the premium content with Joe calling in, it was pretty neat to see, pretty fun tool to have. I couldn't help but think of old Roy D. Mercer calling in.
Can you quote Roy D. Mercer? Thank you for introducing me to Roy. How's Roy D. Mercer? What would happen on that show?
Connor, what's that? What were you saying before the show? What's your favorite?
He'd be calling in, and he'd be it'd be a flooring store, a used car store, and he's calling in and picking a fight. So he'd be calling in and said, "Is this Tommy? you ready to get your?"
You guys aren't old enough, but when I was a kid, there was something called Jerky Boys, and they used to just call people and mess with people. And I once was driving back from Arizona to Chicago. I think we listened to Jerky Boys for 25 hours straight. So never gets old, always fun. All right, we're supposed to be serious because this is a serious show, and markets are rallying from when we first started. Definitely grains a little bit on the men's spring wheat up 5. We have comments, questions. Of course, you're always welcome to chat with us. Give us a call, 1-855-737-FARM. Email us info at ATI ProMedia. Good news, I just ordered a bunch of ATI ProMedia coffee cups yesterday, and we'll get those out to people. All right, we have some headlines. Let's get into that.
Here's the big one I saw, Tommy. ConocoPhillips to buy Marathon Oil, $22.5 billion in the latest energy merger, right? We've seen quite a few of these the past couple of years, but to me, I don't know if this is right, but this feels like one of the bigger ones we've seen. Is that right?
Yeah, I just kicked off Brady. Sorry if you don't know Brady. And he's gone. Brady got kicked off the show. You don't know what he's going to say. Yeah, a lot of mergers and acquisitions. Joe Haroon from Advanced Trading Bloomington, he's definitely heavily involved in energies. He's real excited to send this out this morning. He'd be a lot better guy to ask what this means. We could send him an email. Joe, if you're out there watching, which I don't think you do, but I know he's definitely not a subscriber. But Joe is an expert in this field, and he knows so much about ethanol and energy, and his partner, Adam. So we're going to have to send an email to corporate and say, what's this mean to us? What's it mean to a farmer? What's it mean for carbon? What's it mean for ethanol? And see what it breaks down. It's a big headline.
Yep. And it's interesting. We see the mergers in the oil and gas. And another headline we had, I'll just touch on, is that we saw new carbon offset guidelines. So it's just interesting to see the whole sector, right? The energy sector, we're seeing mergers and acquisition, consolidation in the oil sector. And then we continue to get new guidelines in terms of carbon, green energy, and how this administration will see the next administration, how they're going to continue to influence the energy sector.
Yeah. You have a little headline about Argentina on track to start corn exports. Talk about that.
Yeah, big one. Argentina said they are on track to start corn exports to China in July. So this is potentially a big deal, right? We haven't seen Argentina export a whole lot to China. They tried 10 years ago, they tried to get off the ground. A lot of GMO corn. China wasn't a big fan of that. Guess what? Now they are. As we know, Brazil was the number 1 corn exporter last year to China. And so Argentina, right, it makes sense geographically that they're going to try and step in that space. So we'll see where that is. The other thing, it's not necessarily great for the U.S. farmer. Usually safrinha corn crop, they're going to be the main export to China when that crop is harvested, which will be pretty soon. And then you hope that the United States steps in afterwards. We'll see, right? We don't know what Argentina's corn crop A lot of headlines about their production issues. We'll see where that is. But Argentina is hopeful to start exporting corn to China in July.
Awesome. Well, Connor B, I don't know if you know this, we're trying to keep the shows down to 15 minutes so we can focus on premium content. We have 2 comments. Let's get them in. They're good.
Yep.
Corey Ritter, read that off, sir.
Always say I am looking good. You are looking good, Corey. But if you're 30 to 60 miles from me, they have an issue now. No matter where the farmer is located. I have said it also.
Something tells me Corey's texting and driving because it's like hooked on phonics reading that one, but I understand what he's saying. He's going to kill us.
The backyarditis is a real thing. It's even worse. The worst is where you're in a pocket that is dry, is what you're delayed planting, but across the Midwest looks good. It's very hard to keep that emotion in check, but we got to do the best we can because marketing wise, this is a great time period. We've talked about seasonals, about markets moving very, very fast, but yeah, it's absolutely hard to get backyarditis or to avoid getting backyarditis.
Yeah. One more comment from Luke. We're going to let Luke call in one day. I trust him to be a good citizen and keep it on the up and up.
So this sounds great to me. Brady Huck Appreciation Day. Stakes are on Brady. Let's see how good the beef is.
It's funny he mentions that. Brady's always talking cattle. I've never had a pound of ground beef sent to me. I've never had a steak. I don't. Maybe he just takes pictures of someone else's field and then gets a little dirt on himself and then rolls back in. Who knows? Yeah, Brady, they're doing a good job out there. I noticed today on the Ag Show they were talking again about number 88, and it's fun. We talked about that yesterday, right? Talking about doing a live show live. I literally watched something we talked about for a few minutes on today's key headline of a show. This is today's news today. ATI ProMedia. Corey Ritter said, "You are correct." Caught me. Corey, don't text and drive. We love you, but be careful. Thanks for always calling in and being a fan. Premium content, folks, available $1 a day. Emails, text, videos. Doing our best to educate you. We have a new contributor coming on tomorrow from Canada. That'll be interesting. And I think we're going to do a little check on maybe how the Indiana corn crop is. If not, we're going to head out to Nebraska and try to get kale today for the show. All right. If you have suggestions or comments or anything else, emails info@ATI ProMedia. You can call us 1-855-737-FARM. Want to sign up for premium? Go to www.atipromedia.com. We have a big announcement we're going to make later next week, but we're waiting for Mr. Rick to, you know how Mr. Rick's moving his son out to Colorado. See that flat tire they got on the U-Haul? That was a classic. Yeah. He's got some good stories. Getting his son moved out. Thank you for serving. He's a fine young man. All right. Market's coming back a little bit. Not as great as people think. Real quick, Dow Jones not doing well at all. I just want to pop that up for 1 second. This is a Dow Jones daily chart. We had that face ripper of a rally, folks. This face ripper of a rally. We're giving it all back. Remember before when I talked about we better hold there at 38,000? If we were to go below that, you might see some selling. All right, that's my 2 cents, and that's what you paid for this show. It was free. My name's Tommy Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana. Connor B., where are you? Assumption, Illinois?
Yes, sir.
Get ready for Connor B Appreciation Day, Customer Appreciation Day, coming mid-June. Connor's got a real special lineup for us. We'll see you all then. All right, we'll give you details about that in the next few days. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.